I won't spoil any part of the story because it's one of those animes that I would want you to experience at some point in your life. It has become one of the most hyped and anticipated animes that have come out recently, and everybody is just praying for season 2. Somebody needs to somebody needs to confirm to me how old Miranjo is, bro. If you know what I'm talking about, you're gonna know what I'm talking about. I just need to know how old she is. That's all I'm gonna ask. Anyway, welcome back. Today we're gonna be talking about Ranking of Kings. The last episode, tier, just aired yesterday, and we kind of just want to discuss about an anime that was really under the radar for me for a while. I didn't start watching it until part 2 of season 1 started rolling around, and it wasn't until one of my buddies that had been watching it for a while, he kind of begged me to watch it. And I knew about it. I knew that people were talking good things about it, but it just took a little bit for me to get really invested into it. I think part of the reason why was because of the whole Demon Slayer hype that was going on, and we were anticipating Attack on Titan. We were watching My Dress Up, and then since before, I can't quite remember what animes were airing in the fall of 2022. Oh, the SAO movie was out around that time. So there was just a lot of factors that didn't really allow me to spend time with this. And maybe like a month and a half ago, I picked it up. I just decided to binge watch all of it, and I think it might have been up until like 16 ish, if I'm not mistaken. Essentially, what this story is about a young boy named Boji, and he is deaf. He can't hear anything. In this world, it's called Ranking of Kings for a reason. There's like this committee that I just smacked the crap out of my microphone. There's this committee that goes around and kind of ranks the kings of the kingdoms and of the world, right? So Boji's dad, which is Bose-sama, um, he is the number one ranking king, and he dies, right? And it's just kind of Boji, and he has a stepbrother who is named Daida. So Boji is never really considered to be fit for the throne. He's deaf, he's small, he's weak, his swordsman skills. This is all set up at the beginning. He's just not fit to be king in any sort of traditional way. We have Daida, on the other hand, who is the embodiment of what kings should be. He just fits the description of a king. And with the loss of Bose-sama, they need a king, right? So they have them both sit in front of the people, and they announce that Daida is going to be king. There's obviously some stuff going on in the background, of course, because both of them are kids. They are no older than 13 years old. Of course, there's politics going on in the background, and that's what makes this anime, a lot more interesting for those that would want to spend time with this, and I highly recommend it. But anyway, Daida gets elected, and Boji just kind of feels rejected. He feels that somebody just took away something that he wanted, and he felt that he deserved. He hadn't earned the respect of anybody around him, and from this point on, he decides to embark on a journey. The rest of the story is just him becoming fit to be king. And one of the first aspects that is probably gonna jump out at you is gonna be like the visual design, the way that this anime looks. It looks extremely cartoonish, and it can feel simple. There's animes that just look a lot more prettier and well designed and everything, and this one just looks very simple. But that isn't bashing on the anime. There's nothing simple about the story, and it took a little bit for me to get used to it, but I think once I got used to it, I really appreciated it, because all the visuals in the background, they pop out. The colors are just very, very vibrant. I guess that's the big difference. The The grounds is a lot more like they feel a lot more vibrant. The sky feels a lot more vibrant. The characters jump out a little more. The two openings are like extremely memorable to me. The first one at first was like, oh my god, this one's so cool. This one's so cool. I love this opening, right? So then naturally, when the second one rolled around, I was kind of like, this one's not as good as the first one. But I think the second opening just encompasses a lot more of the adventure that Boji and Kage would have. Additionally, Kage is the sidekick, quote unquote. He is Boji's right hand man, right? He's there to support him when he needs it, and and slap him in the wrist when he needs to, right? At first, Kage is not willing to help him. He basically uses Boji and his innocence and his kindness to his advantage, but naturally Boji changed his heart. And I think one of the biggest and strongest points besides the growth of Boji throughout the anime is the relationship that Kage and Boji would have, and just how much Kage changes throughout the season. He starts off being this person who denies the world because the Kage clan are frowned upon. People do not like the Kage clan. Right? When he finally experiences somebody that doesn't judge him, that accepts him for who he is, he obviously wants everything for him, right? For Boji. And I think that their relationship up until the end is extremely satisfying. You get to see both of them grow, not just one because of the other. They both grow equally. There's also other characters that I don't really want to discuss, just because I think it's a lot more impactful if you would watch this for yourself. It's 23 episodes. It's actually been quite a number of hours since I have been editing this season 1 reaction review. And I know I just stated what I just said, right? But I really felt that I had to talk about Healing Sama. We get the impression that she's going to be like this evil stepmother. She's going to just mess up the life of Boji, right? And everything she does is only going to be for Daida. And that's the first impression we get. I'm not going to spoil it, but I do feel that we have to talk about her, at least acknowledge her existence in this reaction review, because what she does for this story and how impactful she actually becomes throughout the entire story and throughout the entire journey is a lot more significant than I really give it credit for. But at first, she really is just this tsundere. She really is just protecting the interest. She's really just looking for the best resolution now that her husband is gone. It isn't like she's trying to, one up the other, or she has preference over her own son. It's that she feels that that's the right thing to do in that moment. She learns to accept her mistake, and I think it's one of those stories where you can really tell that she loves both of them equally. Boji isn't her real son, but that doesn't mean that she doesn't care about him. It really shows you how close she was with him and how much she wanted to gain his trust. Because after the death of Boji's mom, she kind of had to fill some really big shoes that she wasn't really ready for in that moment. And I think that's what makes her grow as a character. And throughout the entire anime, she continues to grow. And towards the end, she is one of my personal favorites. And I just really had to say that before I ended this reaction review. She is one of the most important characters, not just in the anime, but in Boji's life in general. And once you really give this anime a shot, then you're going to understand what I'm talking about. I also just want to apologize about the audio. I did not realize that putting on my headphones made it sound as it did. I really apologize.
but I just really felt that what I said in that moment was what I truly felt, and if I re-recorded it, I probably wasn't gonna be able to express the same amount of emotions. I'm really sorry about it, and I hope that you guys don't kill me about this. But let's continue on with the video.
Overall, like I said, this story from beginning to end is a journey, literally. You get to see a young boy who basically gets stripped of everything. He really has no power coming into this anime, and towards the end, he has more than he could want. That isn't necessarily enough because there's people who don't want power. What they need and what they want is purpose in life. And Boji is the biggest example of somebody who seeks purpose in life. Kage becomes that purpose, and he wants to be able to kind of be there and be around Kage, and Kage wants to do the same thing. Kage wants to support Boji in whatever endeavors he decides to embark in. And I think this character dynamic is one of the most special that we have had in recent years. Anyway, I there's so much to talk about, but there's only so much you can talk about enough spoiler free. If you guys would want me to talk about it in detail, let me know. I am happy to do it. It would probably go on for like 20 minutes, but I think that for those of you who really enjoyed this one, I would be more than happy to talk about this in depth because it's a good one. It's a really good show, and I would highly recommend it for anime fans in general. And I have a soft spot for Wit Studio, so obviously I don't watch everything by them, but usually the animes that I do end up picking up, I really enjoy, and this is no exception. Want to give a shout out to my boy Brandon for allowing me to late but hop on this train, baby, and we appreciate it. But thank you so much for your time. Until next time, have a wonderful night, evening, morning, afternoon, wherever you are, and we'll catch you next time. Peace.